The DJs, a lot of them are killing it.
It's the people around them hyping
It's the
them
people
too.
around.
Especially when they edit the reactions and they'll zoom in on the guy.
I hate them.
Say here the guy's DJing like this. Here, pretend you're DJing right now. Pretend you're DJing. Oh, this guy's like yes.
Yeah. And then touching.
Let him DJ.
Pulling the shirt. Oh, I hate. Just let the man cook, man. Yes, sir. Welcome back, man. Ooh, wee.
Feels good to be
Norm's
home.
back. Boys cast.
Boys cast. Feels good to be back, bro.
Yeah, man.
How does
back
it-
in a good time?
How does it feel good? How good does it feel to be back from the comedy road?
Well,
my
you know
friend?
what I'm saying. You feel me? You feel me?
Hello, festival. Who this?
Yeah, man. Welcome back. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
What's up, YouTube? I
Oh.
see you.
What up, tube?
I see you too.
Stay tubing.
Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Y'all watching, not subscribing, subscribe, man. Click it. You get
Clickety
notified
diggity.
whenever you drop some heat. Some heat.
Hiya, Baron.
Shout out to everybody on their way to work.
Yes.
You bums. I'm joking.
Clocking in.
I'm probably on my way too. Oh man, yeah, no. It's been a wild week for Toronto.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't been here.
You haven't been here to see it. Fresh off tour.
Fresh off the first leg.
The first. Look at. You hear that? The first leg. Stun on these hoes, man.
Legs.
First leg of the tour.
Right. There's 3 legs on this tour.
Whoa! What the fuck? What the? Write it down. Write it down.
Wow.
This sick bitch.
BC,
Whoa.
Alberta. Hey, I just said.
You say Asperta? Herda.
It was only B. It was only one B in the BC. All right.
Black Hawk.
Wasn't that big?
Fire burn that rascal.
Oh, one size fits all. BC, Alberta, and East Coast, Ontario-ish. Yeah, I consider the East Coast one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were the ugliest people so far?
Ooh.
What town?
So first and foremost, I'm gonna name the towns we went to in Vancouver Island.
And
You
then
ready
I
for
can
this?
guess. I'll guess which
Okay.
order of the ugliest.
So first we had Qualicum.
Okay.
Okay. We're out the gate.
In BC.
Qualicum.
In
Okay.
Black Hawk. Qualicum.
Qualicum.
In BC.
Right
on the
after
third
that,
leg of the tour.
we had Nanaimo.
Nanaimo. Okay.
After Nanaimo, we home of the Nanaimo bar.
Nanaimo
obviously.
sound like some good Asian pum pum.
Yeah.
Asian,
Ichiban Nanaimo.
there's that pussy that it giggles like an Asian girl after. That's how it queefs.
All right. So we got Qualicum, Nanaimo, Port Alberni.
Oh, they're beat. If you live in a port, you're ugly. You got a cousin that's your husband.
Yo, you beat me to it. I was gonna say, AKA the devil's asshole. Is
Yeah.
what they call it. The
Absolutely.
devil's asshole.
The devil's asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn.
Man, anytime there's devil
The
in the front of
devil's
something,
asshole?
because sometimes they say, "Oh,
Nah,
this is
deviled
devil's
egg
armpit."
slaps. Don't do that.
Okay, fine.
Deviled
Some
eggs?
deviled eggs
Hey,
can
man.
go, but there's some shitty ass deviled eggs. Like, that ruined the party. You're like, really? That's what you brought, Susan?
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Bringing eggs to a party
Yeah.
is fucking.
but then it's actually a strenuous like process of like
Bruh.
cracking all those.
I don't care. Don't
boiled
bring no
eggs.
eggs to a party. You
Yeah.
stinking up my house on the housewarming. You
Everybody
bring
farting
eggs.
and shit with the egg farts. Nah, man.
Everybody doo-dooing in my house now. Don't bring anything that makes people doo-doo to the potluck.
That's so funny.
That's crazy.
I love that. Like right out the gate too. Alberni's the yeah, because it said port. Okay, so next one was Courtney.
They kind of, yeah.
Then you got
Courtney might got
Parksville,
some.
Campbell River, and we canceled Victoria because yeah, that was the one show that didn't do well.
Oh, okay.
It didn't sell. All the other ones sold out. So. But
Where was the last two? Courtney and who?
Parksville
Parksville. Courtney definitely got
and
RVs.
Parksville, Courtney, and Campbell River.
Campbell River. I feel like there's like some standard average whites there.
Yeah. Campbell River was a nice,
It's a good like
river town
foundation. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got a river.
Yeah,
It's kind of romantic. You feel me?
It reminded me a little bit of Barrie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not bad
Barrie,
at that.
had Barrie vibes, like Georgian Bay, feel. But I will say the Devil's Asshole was
Was Port.
Port Alberni was the place.
Port Alberni, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I could feel it. As soon as you said Port,
Yeah,
I smelled cigarettes and Coors Light.
and I swear the spot,
Bonfires.
and it wasn't like the bar we were at was like covered in plastic, and like it was like it should have been open. Like open concept, like the air would be coming in and out, but they had to like insulate it, so it was just wrapped with some thick
What
plastic
the
of sorts.
fuck?
It was one of the more scuzzy bars that we performed in. But-
Scuzzy.
and-
What was the
and-
cap? 15?
No, there was like there was probably 45, 50 people in there,
Okay.
right? But it was tight, and I had this. I made this stupid idea of like, because the stage was right in front of the bathroom. all
Normie
right?
getting his stage design ideas off.
So I'm like, let me jump in the bathroom before he starts the show.
Oh my God.
So I was going on first. So I'm in this bathroom for 50 minutes waiting for the host to finish hosting.
There's a
And
dude
then-
in the back shitting deviled eggs.
Now it was pretty much, and I was like, "Oh man, this place stinks." I really chose this. I really
That's my
said,
green room.
This is gonna be my entrance. So the moment he introduces me, I come out the bathroom, and everyone's like, "Ha ha ha!" This guy came out the bathroom,
That's
but it
sick.
was not nearly close to the reception I was hoping for. So I was
Because
like,
you came out smelling like deviled egg doo-doo, man.
I was like, I really, that
You
was not worth
wafted that to the
squeeze.
front row. You know when the
Yeah.
door closes at an establishment and that waft of wind, of washroom wind comes out?
Washroom and kitchen sink
Ugh.
wind.
Oh, kitchen
Yeah.
sink wind.
Yeah, especially
Yuck.
the methane that's coming out the bottom of those little grate vents.
One thing that people don't talk about enough is how much you hate. Like, you can all smell a job you hate right now.
Oh, I
All
can
of us
smell
can
Boston
smell it.
pizza yeast.
All of us can
Boston pizza
smell.
yeasty
Me,
dough.
I can smell because you know what's crazy? I dishwashed at like 3 different places. All smelled the same.
You got the
Completely different food. Doesn't matter. They
The-
all smell the
the
same.
blue, the pink, and the
Yeah.
So you got
Ugh.
the
Yuck.
3 tubes. The 3
Yeah,
tubes.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that. Oh.
And then that little.
Got that from
Yeah.
Wonderland. The first time I ever smelled that was Wonderland. Then I smelled it at McDonald's. Then I smelled it. I'm like, who owns this pink substance
Yeah.
that every store uses, bro?
Stupid bubblegum soap.
The same supplier. That's a job you don't think about. Like, you know me, if you think about some things that are like they're everywhere, but like you don't really think like plastic.
Right.
Who owns plastic, nigga? Somebody owns plastic, bro.
It was plastic is just
Who owns
Is-
Rubbermaid Tupperware?
well, it's just bio waste, right? It's just like the leftover after the crude oil and refining it. They're left with all this bio waste to just turn into plastic.
It's crazy,
So-
man. Crazy. Speaking of plastic, I was in Miami and
Hey!
Miami was a
Come on.
great time. I was there for a short time, not a long time, a good time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vice City Comedy Festival and
Jeez.
everybody there. The staff was amazing. Everybody was amazing. The
2 days?
shows were great. 2 days. I
How many
did about
did you
4
get?
shows.
4 shows, nice.
If I got there late because of another snowstorm. Again,
course,
thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, nature.
Delayed my plane. We're on the tarmac for about an hour and a half. So I missed the connecting flight and thus missed the first show, which I was very pissed about. But yeah, no, went there. First place we got to is this place called Smugglers. There's like a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh,
One of these vibes.
not what I anticipated
Hey,
when it
man.
said festival.
But
But
festival or not,
you never
it's
know.
always gonna be
Sometimes
that.
festivals, like, they got multiple spots, and which this place, it was like there was at least 6 or 7 spots that we rotated, doing shows or whatnot.
Were
I did
these
my first
considered
outdoor
warm-up
show.
shows?
Yeah, kind of to the
Yeah.
main show. The main show was like at this place called Villain Theater, which was really dope. Had a great show. Had all great shows, to be honest. It really made me confident in my material.
Yeah.
But also confident just as a comedian. Like,
Yeah.
just being thrust into these places that I've never been before, and I wasn't really like wavered on stage. I did
Yeah.
my thing, didn't
Yeah.
forget any jokes. Got some really good receptions from the audience. So
That's all you always want. Like when you're traveling, is just to see if your stuff fares on foreign soil.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that and like thinking on my toes, like because like you don't want to start off just material.
Right.
Sometimes you want to like
Crowd work, feel them out.
crowd work or do something that like lets them know, oh, he's funny in the moment.
Yeah.
And so like I did my first outdoor show, and it was at the back of this restaurant, but they had a huge space in the back, big stage. Probably fit like 300 people back there. It was
Jeez.
amazing. And just a lot of benches and seats and chairs and stuff like that. And
All nice and warm.
yeah, it was dope. They had
No-
the fireplaces, the
No snow.
those fire, those fire places
Fire
that they
lamps?
have, fire lamps that they have in
yeah.
like club lines and shit.
Yeah.
They had those everywhere, so it was dope. And it was my first outdoor show, so I'm watching as everybody goes up there, and like some people are eating
Eating
shit.
shit. You don't hear the laughter. It ain't
Because
bouncing around the walls.
the laughs don't bounce anywhere.
They're
They
not
laugh and
bouncing.
it goes up into the sky. So
Yeah.
it's like any laughter you get, you kind of got to just keep powering through.
Yeah.
And an added obstacle, it was windy as fuck that night.
Yeah.
And they had those, those stringed triangles, like little
Yeah, yeah,
flags
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
people have.
Right, right.
But when it's windy, you just
You
hear
hear the flag. yeah.
So that was
Flappity, flappity.
happening
During your set?
during everybody's set. During everyone's set. It was so windy.
And
And then
who
on
addressed
top
it?
of that, nobody. And on top of that, there were all kids in the front row. So they couldn't kick the people out of the establishment. They just kind of informed families like, hey, we're having a comedy show here. There's obviously an audience that came. And but there were people there with their families.
And it's a free show?
It was that was a free show. That one was a free show.
That's
so-
always
Exactly. You
Hit or
can't
miss,
kick them
man.
out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's like 30, 40 kids there.
And
All
they're
the
not
kids
listening
come and
'cause-
sit in the front row.
Oh God. Because they're like, oh, stand-up comedy.
The whole
He's gonna
front
say some
row was
shit.
just children. That's it.
How
And
young? How when you say children?
I'm talking like
5, 6, or
so
teens?
this is the wildest part is when I got up there, I realized that from the oldest kid to the youngest, it was like they weren't in a row, but they were in a row by height. So like looking at it, and it was a row of like white boys. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, this row looks like a child just getting younger.
like the gradient.
There was like 15 of the same nigga. It was crazy, bro. I was like, what's going on right now, bro? So
the
then
walking
now
evolution of Corey.
everybody's going up there and getting so distracted by these kids because the kids are yelling out shit and just
Heckling.
being kids.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And so I go up there and, I'm
did,
just like,
did you have to be clean?
no.
Okay,
No, you can
yeah,
do whatever you want.
Fuck these kids.
Yeah, and everybody was
Fuck these
being
Corey
clean
ass.
and like people were having convos with the kids, and it's like when you're doing stand-up comedy, if the back row can't hear you and can't hear or see who you're talking to in the front row, just don't even do it,
Yeah.
because now everybody back here starts having their own conversations and just tuning you out.
Ah, the
And
worst.
so I'm watching everybody and making notes. I'm like, okay, cool.
Because where were you in the lineup?
I was fourth
Okay.
And
How many comics?
out of I think 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, you got the middle
Nice
is sweet
slot.
spot.
Yeah.
Sweet spot.
And so I went up there and I'm just immediately, I'm like, this is like a Diddy party in the front. And half the parents are like, oh my God. Oh. And you can tell I woke the room up. Like,
right away. Wake up.
so then now
All white party.
the kids kind of noticed that all the parents and the adults like were saying things and like yelling and laughing or whatever. So they didn't really say much.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
kind of quiet. And there's one part midway through my set, this little girl walks up to the front of the stage and is looking up at me and is about to say something. I'm like, keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm not catching the case. Keep it moving. And everybody started dying again. And I was just like, and the kids just shut up for the rest of the time. I was like, thank you, God.
Thank you.
Because they were yelling
Oh,
when people were on
man.
stage. That's not funny.
No.
Like, there, bruh.
No.
There was this one kid that was killing me. This girl was talking about her tampon and on stage, and she said something that only girls would know, and he was like, "That's so true." I was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
I hear that. Amen, brother.
Dog, I was dying. But yeah, no. Overall, it's great. Miami, I haven't been there since 2012.
Yeah.
It looks the exact same. They've had like 30 hurricanes. That shit looks the exact same. I don't know how they're doing it. But I know a lot of those older buildings are just concrete. They're not brick or wood or anything. It's just straight concrete.
Yeah.
So they're not moving. I went to all the places that like I had been the last time I went. My girl was her first time in Miami. So brought around. Everybody's Spanish. Everybody. Everybody's Spanish, bro. And had some great food. Yeah, man, just chilled out. It was a great trip.
So how many people thought your girl was from Miami?
None.
Zero.
Yeah,
could tell.
I don't know. We didn't get into in-depth there was the person we spoke to the longest was the weed guy. I fucking,
Of course.
I walked
of course.
one block from the hotel. I
Yeah.
seen a smoke shop, and they don't sell weed just in stores like that. It's medical over there. And so his smoke shop was like just paraphernalia and shit. It was just like bongs and hookahs and all that stuff. He wasn't selling actual weed.
The front.
But I went in, I was like, "Yo, y'all sell weed?" He's like, "No, we don't sell the actual thing." And he looks at his boy, and the guy I'm talking to is
we don't.
the guy I'm talking to is dressed like Jesse Pinkman, but he's got a yarmulke on his head, and he looks like a straight stoner. And he looks at his boy. He's like, "No." And he looks at his boy, and his boy's like, "I do." And I'm like, "All right, bet."
Perfect.
Copped the eighth for 40. Bought some Russian cream backwoods, and just
And they're super cheap in Miami. Russian creams because they're
it was
Fort
good price.
Lauderdale.
It was a good price, man. It was a good price.
$6-7.
It was about $8, I think. I think it was $8
Okay.
for a pack. But yeah, no. And then I just chilled out, man. It was a good trip.
That
Good
sounds
little
like
trip.
a good trip, man.
Good little getaway. You know what I'm saying?
And here's my question: did you get your fees and all that good? Was it just
Yes.
exactly?
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
yeah.
your like your credit card.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
I'm talking about your credit card. Did you bring your credit card?
Yeah, I brought the credit
And it was
card.
working there. You didn't have to call the bank and
No.
and ask them to.
Nah.
Okay, good. Man, that's awesome because that's what always stopped me was not having a credit card.
Hey, man.
You know,
What's lucky is my manager works in America and works out of America.
Okay.
And so when I have something that needs to go to my credit card, I just funnel it through that.
Oh,
And yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
It's a company expense.
Exactly.
Company
You feel me? You
expense.
feel me?
Yeah, I had that was the reason on my way to Miami once upon a time. I went without a credit card. And that was the last time
They let you into Miami.
Yeah, for at least 5 years. What was the food good though?
Amazing.
Come
We
on,
had
man.
tacos.
Come
we
on,
had
how's the Latin food, bro?
fucking,
You had some empanadas,
we had lamb. No, we had
some
the most Latin
Dominican
food we just had is tacos. That's it.
tacos.
Tacos the one night, and then the next day we went and
No
ate on
pupusas?
Oceans, and I had shrimp, lamb, and lobster for
course you
like
had-
$59. I was like,
American.
though, so it's like $150,000 Canadian.
Yeah, but they were big.
The exchange rate
portions.
slapped me in the nuts,
Oh,
dog.
right now it's so hard,
Bro, we went to go change 150. Man looked at me and gave me $87 back. I said, "You want to square up? Squabble up. You want to square up, bro? What do you mean $87 for 150?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Disgusting.
Nah.
Make it right, Justin.
No,
Make it right.
come on, Justin. Get out of
Oh
here.
my gosh.
But you know, did you see anybody from Toronto out there?
Yeah, I saw my boy Kyle Hoto. Shout out to Hoto, man.
Oh, Hoto.
Yeah, man. Hoto's out there flourishing, man. He's got a little R&B party out there called Love Language.
Okay.
Been killing it. I didn't get to go. It was the day after we left. But he came out to a show.
What
Yeah,
was
it
his
fun.
old T-shirt company called?
Dream Designs.
Dream Designs.
That was
Oh,
actually,
snap.
he was the first person to ever give me merch in the city.
Okay.
For anything. And that was for my finale show on the VJ Search.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. well,
He gave me a sweater.
I remember I was in a music video called "Count Money," inside his studio, and I just
Didn't
one
it
of the
get
few
flooded
one of the
out?
few times I made it rain in front of a camera.
I feel like his store got flooded.
Yeah.
Where that time Spadina flooded.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
his store was
He
like the
yeah, it
basement
was the
across
downstairs,
from
yeah.
Livestock and Goodfoot and shit.
Exactly that.
He had a prime spot.
It
Now that I
was
think about it.
great
God
spot.
damn. Queen
Yeah.
Spadina right there.
Right there, man.
Jeez. But
No.
yeah, no, he's doing good.
I love seeing people, that on road, like wherever you go in the world, because it's just like, yes, I get to say what up and experience,
Some people I don't hit up. Some
True,
people are out
true.
of my tax bracket.
Okay. I thought you meant like
some of my friends, I would love to see them, but you want to do rich shit.
yeah.
And I'm sorry. I ain't got the wherewithal. And I'm not gonna be. We're not gonna link up. You're like, oh my god, let's go to Nobu, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
no. At that point, we're going to Nobu.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, certain people, I'm just like, I'm gonna just stay clear.
Trust me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stay clear.
Yeah.
I would love to see you, but
I wanted to go grocery shopping, and then they're like, all right, let's go to this this farmer's market called Goats on the Roof. They actually have goats on the roof eating grass off the roof. I'm like,
that
sounds white expensive,
That's
man.
some
Like some
Cali white Caucasian
artisanal,
shit.
Organic free trade,
artisanal,
rah.
organic, free free range. Was it?
Yeah, grass fed salmon. What the fuck? But I was in Parksville, and I'm just like smoking a blunt, just walking to the comedy space, and out of nowhere I just hear I'm like,
Hearing that outside of
I
Toronto.
am in the most white butt fuck town in BC, and I'm hearing
But you know you're about to get a free
right?
spliff.
And I look up and I see 5 goons just standing there, like, at ease, legs open wide, like, are you guys like, so mean? I'm like, who is that? And I look closer, and I realize it's some of my homies that I forgot, like a few years ago, told me, we're thinking to open up a little something out in BC.
This is the something.
And this is the something. I was like, and I was
That's
like,
the best feeling.
free weed.
That's the best feeling.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
no,
it's always
definitely.
nice to see the
Especially,
homies,
you
man.
hear in a different city. Oh, about to smoke.
Yeah,
Just about to smoke something
It's
for
going
free, for
down.
sure.
It's so
Oh
wicked.
man, I might have to stop smoking, bro. Got the results for my sleep test, man.
Oh,
Did a sleep test a couple weeks ago.
Is it?
It's not good, man.
Is this
It's
the
not
smoke?
good, man.
Or is it work? Is it the internet? Is it life?
It's a myriad of things. I think smoking is definitely maybe part of it.
Well, because they say smoking
You don't
weed is
enter
bad.
REM sleep
Yeah, you
or
don't-
whatever. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
bad for sleep for sure.
But which is crazy because it's
Because it knocks you the fuck
it's
out.
meant to use for you to like induce sleep.
Yeah.
It just can't get you all the way. It's just wild. Friggin', yeah, I did a sleep apnea test a couple weeks ago.
Why, you snore heavy?
I
Or you
snore
bit?
crazy, and
Oh,
my girl
Shima.
said I stopped breathing in my sleep sometimes. And I notice when I go to lay down to sleep, my tongue rests on the roof of my mouth for some reason, like automatically. And so I feel like that's just blocking the passageway for me to get air.
Okay, I can see
And,
that. I can feel that right now.
Yeah.
Back.
And so I didn't notice it until after I did the sleep test. I was laying down. I'm like, what is it? And I noticed my tongue just goes to the roof of my mouth whenever I lay down automatically. I don't know why, but it's like a conscious effort to not get it to do that. Like I have to be like, don't. Stop that.
Big ass. You got a big ass. What was it? A thwop?
The thwacker?
The thwacker of a tongue?
Nigga adding that in my tongue, man. Jail. Write it down. Yeah, write it down.
Sorry, I was sorry. I was a side story. We'll run back to this, but I was at my nephew's basketball game today, and
I don't like where this is going.
It was in
Just
the
start
high
off there.
school. Okay, it was at West Hill, and I was like, "Come on, show some heart, D." And I looked at all the high school kids that were just on like period break or whatever.
Kid turned to you like, hey,
And I was
yo.
and I was like, "Come on, show some RD, pause!" And all the parents looked at me laughing, like, the peer pressure still exists in high school, and we're adults.
That's so
Like-
funny that the parents, now we're at an age where the parents know.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. That one applies.
Some of the dads look at you like, yo. That's crazy. But yeah, no,
man.
did the sleep test. Listen, that sleep test is rigged.
I mean,
Let's start there.
it almost seems like they want you to be diagnosed.
Bruh,
Yeah.
you connected 537,000 wires on my face.
Only
And
tell
expect me to
the
just
obvious.
sleep?
Yeah.
Just sleep. Just go to sleep. We're gonna test the quality of your sleep. Nigga, get the wires off me.
Now, how do...
Bro, no, you don't understand. I look like an old Nintendo. Like, it was crazy, dog.
You look like you're in Top Gun.
Dog.
Just like, you got the face
The
mask.
amount of wires that they got 2 here on the temple. They got 4 on the back of your head. They got some on your neck. They got some on your chest. They got some. I'm like, bruh.
So wait, did you smoke or no?
Not right before, because like once you get in there,
Yeah,
you're in there.
exactly.
And it took them a while to get everything started. So like by the time I was ready to go to bed, I wasn't high
You're not high, no.
anymore. No.
Yeah.
I had smoked in the car on the way there, but that's about it. And then so
And can they tell if you have THC in your bloodstream or no? Or do you tell them? Or
yeah,
do they
you tell
ask
them.
you?
You tell them ahead of time that you smoke or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think they care about that. It's more so just like.
Because I wonder if that like affects the results. Like,
Well,
if-
I think they just want you to be in the state of however you normally go to sleep.
Mm.
So I normally smoke before I go to bed.
yeah, same.
Yeah, man, I did this, and it was an uncomfortable sleep, brother.
It's look like 50 Cent in the club.
Yeah, man, at the start. Shit, bro. It was crazy, dog. And so then I had to wait
Upside
like
down,
a
yeah.
week or two for the results. They gave me the results. I go in the other day, and he's like, guy sits down, he's like, brother, do you know what sleep apnea is? I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here.
I love that you got Gurdeep giving you.
Yeah, he's like,
Okay, my
brother, do you
friend,
know
I want
sleep
you to
apnea
know.
is? Okay, well, you 5 to 10 is normal sleep apnea. 5 to 10, waking up 5 to 10 times, normal sleep apnea. 10 to 20, a little bit higher.
It's not.
I'm like, oh, really? A little bit higher, okay. And he's like, anything above 20 is severe sleep apnea.
It's not good, dude, man.
Brother, you are waking up 36 times, brother.
Brother, a whole Wu-Tang Chambers album of
36
waking up.
times an hour, brother. 36 times an hour, brother. And I was like, okay,
So that basically means once every 2 minutes,
I'm up.
you're waking up for a split second.
I'm not up, but like
Your
I'm
body is
stopping
just-
breathing.
Yeah.
And my brain is going, wake up, wake up,
Your body's going, wake up.
wake up, wake up. Please, because every night when I go to sleep, my brain's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Again.
Oh, okay.
Your brain's literally like, dude.
You know those Inside Out characters? Yeah. Everyone's like, yo, all right, man your stations. We're in for an all-nighter.
All right.
So then, yeah, man, 221 times a night, I stopped breathing. 221 times a night, God be trying to see me again.
Times 221. Hold on. I want to do this math.
Safe to say, I need a CPAP machine.
What?
I
need-
need
you need
Jordan
that-
Sparks.
What's that thing that that Shaq uses? That mouth guard that Shaq uses that he lives by. He endorses some mouthpiece for
Whoa,
sleep apnea.
whoa,
Sleep
brother,
apnea.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
confirm.
And her name is not Superhead.
Yeah, but no. I had posted just a picture of the wires on my face, and I guess everybody that's ever done a sleep test was like, "Yo, brother,
Are you breathing yet?
26 times for me, brother."
yeah,
Everybody was underneath.
I would love to hear like who got the highest
who got
score.
the highest score.
Like, buddy, I'm hitting the 500 range a
that's
night.
crazy. That's crazy. I was like, how is there anybody more than me?
Yeah.
Because the way he was talking was like, I see this all the time, type vibe. And when I posted that picture, a bunch of people with sleep apnea that got CPAP machines were like, bruh, life about to change. And you know what's crazy? I'm a morning person. Like, you've been on the road with me. I'm
You
not
wake up
groggy. I'm not miserable.
You're up.
I'm just ready to get the day going.
I don't know how you do it.
And I wake up early. Like, I'm not laying in bed like,
Yeah.
Like
I've never seen you groggy before in my life.
my own theory of that is that I'm not entering deep enough sleep to become groggy.
Jesus.
I think
Jesus.
I'm hovering right above deep sleep to the point where I wake up and it's like I never went to bed.
Buddy, you're a sleep edger. You edge yourself in your
I'm
sleep.
edging, edging sleep.
God. That is so funny.
But I also have dreams, so I am entering deep sleep at some point, which is wild.
Yeah.
Also because I smoke weed. You shouldn't be able to have dreams when you smoke a weed.
Well,
I also think I've
this
been
is-
smoking so long that my folder is full.
Well, yeah, that's exactly how I looked at it. It's your brain is filing through all this shit
Because it's
when you're-
saving it.
right? It's saving it. It's making room for other things to come into storage.
Yep.
But when you're high, it's not doing that. So when you quit smoking weed and you have those lucid dreams out the gate, that's all that.
But I
is,
feel like
man.
I filled my RAM where I'm just having the dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to stop. I'm just having the dreams.
I mean, also you have a brain that can remember lyrics out the gate. You have an insane memory. So like, I wonder if that has you probably
My
have
short-term memory's trash, though. It's very weird what my brain chooses to retain. It's
You're
very odd. I don't
would
get
say
to
you
decide.
are. Yeah, maybe you are a selective memory guy. Like
I
you have
don't get to
selective memory.
decide what happens. Like it just it decides what it wants to remember, and I love it now because I can use sleep apnea in my
Yeah.
relationship easily. Like my girls, oh, you don't care. No, I can't remember. It's not that I don't care. It's that I don't remember.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Babe, think about it.
Oh, I've been using
I
it.
haven't been sleeping right my whole life.
She asked me to do dishes. I sat there.
Sleep apnea.
Sat there for about 2 hours. She's like, didn't I tell you to do dishes? Sleep apnea. My fault.
But man,
She hates it. She's so mad. She's so mad.
she got the diagnosis.
I'm
and she's
like, I'm
"Oh."
gonna use this as a crutch for as long as humanly possible until I get that machine and start Darth Vadering in this house.
Bro,
I'm gonna use it as a crutch.
I was in New York and my homie came to link and meet up and he had a CPAP machine and he's like, bro, I hope you don't mind. I know I'm crashing on the couch, but I got this CPAP thing. I'm like, oh, don't worry, you're good.
Is it small?
It's small enough to take with, but it's still like
It's like a little mini vacuum.
Yeah,
like
you-
one of them vacuum for your stairs.
You look, it's
one of
one
handheld
of those
joints.
attached to a Bane mask. You know what I
Nice.
mean? And then
Hey man, as
You
long as
know?
it's not something I gotta wheel around and shit.
yeah, and it sounds like a hospital.
Does it?
like the
But I mean, that's better than
yeah, way better than that.
you know what I mean.
But then there's also like a little humming sound that can double as like a gray noise of sorts.
Ah,
A white or gray noise that could actually put you to sleep.
nice.
Because while homie was sleeping, I could hear like his breathing. I was like, at least the CPAP machine sounds soothing in its rumble, But there's also like I think one of my homies got his tonsils clipped
Removed.
for that.
Yeah,
like a surgery
that's
of
probably
sorts.
that'll probably help me as well
Yeah.
too. To be honest, but I'd never want to do that.
Yeah. No,
voluntary surgery? Absolutely not.
yeah,
Surgery's got to be a must
right
for
right.
me to do it.
No need to widen your throat hole.
No, Jesus. Write it down, man. Write it down. This nigga's a sick bitch, man. Yeah, no, I gotta also lose weight. I think that'll help as well.
Yeah.
Losing weight. I've been contemplating stopping smoking weed
I mean,
for the first time in my career. It's been 16 years of smoking weed. I want to say 9 or 10 every day.
10 spliffs, 10 spliffs.
No. Oh, Jesus Christ, no. I mean 9 or 10 years of smoking every day.
Yeah, mine's
9 or 10 spliffs. He's thinking because that's his usual
I know.
quota.
Well,
9 or 10 spliffs? Oh, okay.
from
That's insane to me.
I'm at the 25-year mark, and yeah, I would say averaged a pack of backwards a day. So
I haven't taken a break in almost a decade. So I'm like, what would I be like? And this is the thing too, like with the whole learning about, like, he's like, oh, you must be so tired throughout the day. And I'm like,
Nah.
not until I started this job. Like,
Yeah.
when I started doing the morning show is when I started like taking naps during the day because it's like waking up
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock. Like, come on. And I don't go to bed the earliest.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dog, when I get this machine, I'm gonna be superhuman.
Hey.
If I stop smoking weed
Yeah.
in the same week, I might be Jeff
Ooh.
Bezos. I'm just saying, I might. Dog, the productivity might be crazy.
Bro, your third eye opens up and you're just like,
Bro,
Who
if I
am
stop
I?
smoking weed in the same week as I start sleeping better and I work out, oh my God. Dog.
I finally found the clit.
I come back the next week, I'm The Rock. Like, I'm just.
Well, you could be on that Mark Wahlberg time schedule
I'm thinking about maybe going a month on, month off.
with weed.
But I'm like, is there a benefit to that? Is the benefit not a longer, like I would have to take longer time off? Like, how long does it take weed to come out of your system completely?
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah. It's supposed to be 6 months. So they
So I would have to do like a year.
Yeah.
To really like
in,
check the system.
intermittent toking.
See, and this is the other thing that fucks me up. What if, say, I stop smoking, I stop whatever. Yeah, I stop smoking, and like, say, my career just takes off like crazy. What if that was just the time my career was gonna take off crazy, and it had nothing to do with me smoking? What if it was just that?
I always justify things like that.
But
when
what
it comes
if
to smoking
also
weed.
the sacrifice I need to make with God and the universe is to stop smoking in order for me to get to the next level? These are the things that play with my mind. These are the things that play with my mind.
Maybe
'Cause
it
I'm
wasn't
like,
you
in
that manifested
everything-
it. It was somebody else that was manifesting it.
In everything that, in all levels of progression, there's some form of sacrifice that's needed.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, especially when you believe in signs and stuff like that. Like, I'll start thinking about that, and then I'll see somebody tweet like, "Oh, sober for a year, never felt better," and I'm like, "God, I want to feel better."
Buddy, how many times have I told you, bro? Do you see how much better I was on the pod today?
Yo.
Didn't smoke weed.
See,
It's just like,
there's that.
I know. We always know, but we're all entitled to our one vice.
You know what I use as like motivation for me to stop smoking the other day? I smoked and I was driving home, and I started becoming hesitant in driving in ways that I would never have been hesitant if I was not high.
Yeah.
And I was just like, is this something that transfers over to everything I do? Like, is this not just the car? Is this not just making a decision with
What
the
else
lane?
is holding me?
What
am I
else
holding
am
back
I
from?
holding back from because I'm high?
Everything. 100% everything.
You know what I mean? So it's just like,
all potential is being held back 100%. What could have been 100 is now 80 as a result of the 20 worth of smoke. There's
so I should stop smoking.
not saying you should. I'm just saying.
See, and this is the problem.
I'm not saying you should.
This is the problem. That man just said life would be 100 times better. No questions asked. Unequivocally better. There would be such great change in your life. So I should stop. Not necessarily.
Now, here, this is what I mean. There's aspects in your life that would 100% flourish if you were to minus that out of the equation. But then there's other things that are already flourishing on this side of the equation that will then plummet and
What would plummet? The way I make friends. That's about it.
I was gonna say there's a social aspect to it unless you're one of those stoners that eventually became a loner stoner that like doesn't want to smoke around.
Yeah, that's
I guess
sad. Yeah.
I've become that.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be smoke with everybody, weed Samaritan. Now I'm like, yo, get your own. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
This is my quiet place, right?
Yeah.
But depending on where you're at, like I think once again, obviously, there's so many things that are bad for you. We can cut out sugar. We can cut out violence and entertainment. We can cut out pornography.
things.
We can cut out so many things.
But we could cut off weed.
We can cut
really
out weed
easily.
too, right? But
There's
it's
so many things in this life, Marlon. Nice try, nigga. There's so many things that are bad for us, really, if you think about it. The air these days.
Really, it's really bigger.
Have you inhaled lately? It's not the same air from the 90s, I'll tell you that much.
Here's my deal, though, man. I was walking, smoking a blunt, looking at the beautiful, epic backgrounds of BC, just looking at the mountains,
It
looking
is
at
an
the
epic
water,
background.
and I'm just smoking. I'm like, I wish I could live a life till the day that I die smoking guilt-free. Like those old Parisian men that have pipes that are still smoking while they're drinking their wine and they don't give a damn and they die happy.
I want to
right?
ask, like, Seth Rogen and shit, like, do you stop when you like doing projects and doing things? Because from what I can see, you're very much a stoner
Yes.
that's rich and famous and functioning.
Fully functional. The Snoop Dogg's, the Bob Marley's.
Just like I'm
the-
functioning.
Yeah.
And so do you stop to get things done, or is this just because if it's just you, then I'm not stopping.
Right.
I'm not. If I can justify my thug one way or another, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
My only reason for wanting to quit is just because, I want to hug my mama, like, in ways where she won't be like, "You sick, no?"
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry,
Your
mom.
mom's like,
You know?
oh, you damn weed. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been just giving y'all the gems all month. Just all month. It's Black History Month. We trying to look out for our people. So, we bring in the experts because we have no education. Let's be real.
Yeah.
No, post-secondary?
Half post secondary.
See?
Partial
Quarter.
post secondary.
Quarter. Not good, but we do have a young man here who has definitely had his time in post-secondary. He's still in there.
Yeah.
Actually, he's
Still
an
putting
adjunct
in work.
professor at the U of T. We have Mr. Winston Husbands. Make some noise
Mr. Winston Husband.
in the building.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are disparaging numbers when it comes to the Black community and HIV. Why is that?
Out the gate.
Well, it's a complex issue on one level. On another level, it's a very straightforward issue. Across the board, across the board. If you look at income, if you look at who's incarcerated, if you look at who doesn't have enough food to eat, all of these things affect Black people in a very, very a very specific kind of way.
Yeah.
And we're usually, if you rank different communities in terms of, access to food and all of these things, income and all these things, we're usually sort of what you call the conventional measures of well-being or how well people are doing. We're usually coming up close to the bottom. And so what we find with HIV is no surprise. So what that means specifically for HIV is that in Ontario, almost 30%, a little less than 30% of new diagnoses in 2022 were among Black people. But Black people make up only about 6% of Ontario's population.
Wow.
So that tells you something. across for the country as a whole, for Canada as a whole, where these data exist, it's close to 20%, even though Black people are only 5% of the country's population.
Wow.
So that tells you something.
That tells you a lot.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
In the Black community, there is a thing about not using protection. It's like a big thing. And it's almost like you get brownie points for not doing so. How do we break that stigma? Because I feel like that's kind of a starting point.
I also feel that's across the board, though. Nobody wants to.
Yeah, yes and no.
Well, he's correct.
Yeah.
It's not what you call using protection is not sort of, the thing that sort of that normally brings people to sexual activity.
Yeah.
It is something that people do because they feel a reason to do it. It
Exactly.
is not, okay, so I think that Black people are no different from anybody else in regard to their reluctance to, as you call it, use protection. But I don't think that that's the whole story. So we know that Black people are just as sensible as everybody else, just as knowledgeable about everybody else about HIV. There are lots of people in Canada, in this city, in Toronto, who don't know how HIV is transmitted.
Yeah.
But I don't think black people as a group are overrepresented among people who don't know. So we do know how to look after ourselves. We do know what we need to do to maintain good health, whether it's HIV or anything else.
Yeah.
So the issue isn't necessarily a lack of knowledge. It is a lack of the proper kinds of policies to meet people halfway, at least, so that people will make the kinds of choices we expect them to make.
And what are some of those policies?
Well, this is where we get into health and wellness policies to do with health and wellness. So, for example, every year, all levels of government spend a lot of money on HIV programs, HIV services. Those things are governed by some kind of policy that decision makers have about, this is what we need to do, this is what we should do, and then they find a way to do those things.
Yeah.
But let me give you an example. Last year, the federal government published a new action plan on HIV and sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections in Canada. So this is the federal government's plan to address HIV and other sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections in Canada. In that document, you'd be hard pressed to find any specific mention of black people, even though some of us have pointed out to the people who were writing that document. And in fact, they know. We didn't even have to point it out to them because they know. They're the ones who have all this information. They know that, black people are disproportionately affected by HIV. We have a disproportionate burden of Canada's HIV epidemic. Yet, if you look at the federal government's action plan, you would hardly find anything in there to do with black people. Nothing specific to say, you know what, this is a problem. Here's what everybody needs to do to address this, to sort of bring black people on side and to address this issue among nothing.
Because they don't see it as a problem.
Well, the thing is, a number of us, we organized a consultation with the people who were writing the plan before the plan was written.
Oh, wow.
And we sat down, by Zoom, of course, and we had a discussion and we said things and put things on the table. The draft plan came out. There was almost nothing in it specific to black people.
When you were speaking to them in that meeting, was there a sense of like, oh yeah, we definitely need to include this. Oh, thank you for letting us.
Well, there was a sense of this is important information, but then where does it go? Where does it land?
Yeah.
So the draft plan came out and there was nothing there. And then we got back to them again and said, you know what? We talked, we had these conversations. You've written the draft plan. In fact, we even wrote a response to the draft plan to say that this is, I don't know what this means for black people.
Yeah.
And the final plan came out and it was almost the same thing. Wow. It is like we never had it. It was like we never.
Faces.
It was like we never had that conversation. So that is the kind of thing that we're up against.
And there's no follow-up meeting after that for some.
Well,
sort
that's
of
the thing.
accountability.
We've been trying to do that. We've been trying to do that, but there has been no response from the other side so far. The last time we met was probably 4 months ago, and whenever you check, it's okay. Just hold on, wait a little longer. But so, in effect, there has been. Meanwhile, the plan has been launched, as far as I know, because it is published. It is out there in the public domain.
Yeah.
So that means that these things are going ahead without the benefit of recognizing the magnitude of the issue among black people and without the kind of policy, the kind of effort, the kind of spending that needs to happen to say, you know what, here's how we're going to address this crisis among black people in Canada.
And where would you want it to be spent in terms of highlighting these issues? Well,
I mean, part of it is, there's always a place for education and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with, first of all, encouraging people to get tested. And then once people are tested, making sure that people have access to the kind of treatments that are available so that, at the end of the day, they would reach a stage, if people are living with HIV, if people test positive, at the end of the day, they will reach a stage where because of these very good treatments that are available, they'll reach a stage where they no longer can transmit the virus to somebody else, to a sexual partner.
Because that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Undetectable.
Stop the spread. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And those therapies exist. It is, how do you get them in the hands of the people who need them?
We need some incentives.
The other thing is that, there are lots of reasons why people might drop out of treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get tested and you get on treatment, you have to have a doctor. That's the first thing, because, somebody needs to check you every whatever and write you the prescriptions that you need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to have a doctor, which we know can be problematic.
It's already a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, for men.
People were lining up 3 hours for a new family doctor that opened up in Whitby in the snowstorm.
3 hours.
In the snowstorm, we're standing for 3 hours waiting for a doctor.
Is there a shortage?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but even if you have a doctor, maintaining your drug regimen, sticking to your medications and all that, you have to do this. You have to stick to it. There's no opting out.
Yeah.
And that's a major effort. So people need some access to some kind of resources to keep that going, because as happened during COVID, for example, you can tell people, well, if you get sick or if you don't feel so good, you should stay home.
Yeah.
But if people are staying home and they live with a lot of other people, a lot of big family in a small place, that might
sick.
not exactly that might not be very helpful. And then people can't get a sick day off work. So telling them, if you get sick, you stay home.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of different reasons why people might not be able to adhere to their regimens over an extended period of time. So there needs to be some kind of supports to enable people to do that.
We need some incentives,
because the payoff is a really good one. It's a really big one.
Yeah.
So some incentives, some supports to help people maintain that until they reach a stage where they wouldn't be able to transmit the virus to somebody
We need some
else.
coupons off groceries.
No.
Or a credit score or something.
or discipline. And
Discipline. That's not an incentive.
And be safe.
That's even more reason for me not to go get tested. No, but I feel like if people had incentive to go get tested, then that would help erase the stigma, because I feel like also people have a wrong, I guess, idea of what it means to get tested and what's involved in the testing and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people who are afraid of needles that just automatically assume I'm gonna get jabbed up and I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I know that if there was some incentive, a lot of people would just get over it and be like, all right, let's get this done.
Yeah.
A
lot of people are just being lazy.
But
man.
it's difficult to for any kind of managing your health in any serious way. I mean, it's difficult to do it if you don't have, if your food situation is not good, if your housing situation is not good, if you can't get a babysitter for your kids when you have to go to appointments or whatever. I mean, there are a lot of things that get in people's way. People already know what they need to do to manage their health.
Absolutely.
But it's those other things that get in the way. And that is where I think people really need some help. There's something called integrated case management, where instead of saying, normally, you'd say, okay, we have this clinic here. Now you can go there. But you know that people can't go to the clinic because of all these other things, right? Instead of just putting the clinic there and saying, okay, clinic there, you go. You say, okay, how can I make it possible or make it easier for you to actually go to the clinic and engage with, the services that are available there? That's the important question.
Yeah. How close are we to a possible cure or vaccine?
Well,
and are we close at all?
there's no cure. There's no vaccine on the horizon. However,
Magic Johnson,
there are drugs available now.
Yeah.
Which, as I said, they can, if you stick with the regime and stick with your doctor and take your drugs and so on and so forth, over a period of time, you will reach a stage where you will not be transmitting the virus to somebody else.
Yeah.
So these are very good drugs that are available. They're not a cure because
Yeah.
even though you're not transmitting the virus, you're still HIV positive.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you fall off the wagon, you know, that there could be consequences
Yeah.
for that. But that's the best we have right now. But there's nothing, you know, that is imminent like next year or the year after. But however, because of these drugs, you know, there's a push, an international push, that HIV transmission might cease to be the kind of major public health issue that it has been for the last 40 years by 2032.
Oh, wow.
That was the original idea. But then COVID came along and disrupted a lot of things all over the world. So it's probably not something that's going to happen by 2032, but it's going to come nevertheless.
To a point,
but
yeah.
it won't. But what we have to do is to make sure that as much as possible, it comes for everybody. Not for some kinds of communities or some places and not others.
Yeah.
That is the thing. Because in Canada, if it doesn't come for Black people, you know what will happen. At the end of the day, the decision makers will say, we beat HIV. We're done. Except that Black people will be left struggling with this. But then the resources would have moved elsewhere to deal with some other issue. And then we'd really, really be in trouble.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. And I feel like in terms of just like people going to get tested, like you were saying, like just the world is a lot right now. And some people just don't want another thing on their plate. Like a lot of people,
Everyone's
they're
fighting
not-
a cause
of
their own.
And everyone's done things and had, you know, they lived a life and they're afraid of what possibly could have come from that. So they don't want to know the answer. They don't want to add another thing onto their plate. And I think that if we alleviate, especially just some of the other things that are going on, when we're talking about the grocery prices and property tax raising and insurance rates, it's like if we alleviate even just like the unemployment rate, if we alleviate some of these things, it'll be easier as well for people to feel like they can go and get tested because they don't want to add another thing to their plate right now. I just, in terms of, I know for that research you said in 2022, they're saying 55% of being Black men.
I'm not up to date with that figure, what proportion are Black men, but I can tell you that among women who are diagnosed with HIV, of course, the number of diagnoses among women is less than among men.
Yeah.
You know? But in Ontario and for Canada as a whole, in Ontario, Black women make up 40-something% of all the people diagnosed, the new diagnoses in 2022. And that tells Black women, you make up 40-something%.
That's good.
And you know that Black people as a whole are only like 6% of the how did we get there? That is the kind of that is where our advocacy comes in, to say this is abnormal.
Yeah.
Nobody should be happy with, whether you're Black or not, nobody should be happy with this.
Almost
So
feels like
let
an
us let us put our heads together and address this problem. But there's always this reluctance that I think that that's part of the racism that we experience. This reluctance that even when you come as a quote unquote expert and you say, well, I know something about this issue and I have some ideas on how we can address this issue, the decision makers are reluctant to talk to you. They may not know anything about the problem or more than you.
Yeah.
But they know that they can get away with not talking to you. There's no punishment. There's no nothing. People can just go on with their business as though you weren't there, basically. And that is the kind of thing that we're fighting against.
Yeah, they're obviously addressing other communities and helping, like, for instance, the LGBTQ community has a lot of resources and information and marketing to help them be up to date with all the issues.
Well,
how do we get the same?
Yeah, it is not even the LGBTQ community generally speaking, because they're Black LGBTQ people as well.
Exactly.
But when you look at most diagnoses in Ontario and in Canada would be among gay and bisexual men and other men who have sex with men. But when you break it down according to race, you would see that Black gay and bisexual men account for like 17 or 18%
Wow.
of the new diagnoses among gay men.
Wow.
And that, I mean,
That's a wild number.
that's-
of course, it's a wild number. So it is not as though the whole gay population
Yeah.
of gay men
Right.
is benefiting from this, because Black gay men are not have not benefited from it.
What are
Generally
some of the
speaking.
barriers they're facing to get to that information or treatments?
Well, the general barrier that we face is still anti-Black racism.
Yeah.
That's the sort of
Overarching.
overarching thing.
Yeah.
Because what that means is that Black people do not get access to the things that people call the social determinants of health, like jobs and income and housing and being able to feed yourself and your family and so on and so forth. The things that normally we don't think of those things as having a lot to do with health, but they do, because if you don't have, if you're struggling to find housing, you can't really. It
Affects your mental health as well.
exactly, and your physical health.
Yeah.
It makes it difficult to make the kinds of decisions that you need to make. So this overarching thing about anti-Black racism means that we're not having access to these things that are called the social determinants that are going to help us to make the kind of decisions about our health that we know we can make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Wow. I'm depressed.
Don't be depressed, because there's a lot of work going on.
Yes, let's talk about the good.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of work going on. There are some of us, for example, I'm part of a group. It has a kind of a name that's a mouthful, kind of unwieldy. It's called the Interim Committee on HIV Affecting Black Canadian Communities. We publish something called the Black HIV Manifesto. So sometimes we call ourselves, just for short, the Manifesto Group. That's easier than
He knows what that's like.
That's easier than the long one, right?
I'm familiar
Yeah.
with the manifesto.
And so we've been doing a lot of advocacy, about this issue, and we're not the only one. There are other people who are doing this too. But and there are about 9 of us in this group, and we're going hard with advocacy, telling the story, and engaging decision makers in HIV and health to bring our perspective. One of the things that we often say is that we're not going to, the decision makers, there's no way that you can sort of solve this problem for us. The problem is our problem. So we have to be part of the solution, which means that you have to have us playing a leadership role in making decisions about Black people's health. You can't just go off and, come
It's
up
the
with
same
something.
in everything, huh?
You can't
It's
just go
so
off
crazy.
and come up with something, because you don't know.
Sounds like the music industry.
Yeah, you don't know. We know.
Sounds like the music
So
industry.
we have to be playing a leadership role in making the kind of decisions that need to be made, and that's a fundamental thing
Yeah.
that we're pushing.
Interesting. Wow. Well, I've learned a lot today.
I'll give you a concrete example. So for Canada as a whole, well, and in Ontario, how do we know that in 2022 Black people were so many % of new diagnoses? Because there's this thing called surveillance. Now, one of the things we're saying is that surveillance is supposed to be a technical term that epidemiologists use. And we're also saying that in this day and age, that term is not appropriate. You can't go around talking about surveillance.
Surveilling Black people is
Anyway,
crazy.
they're surveilling everybody, but hey, we
Can't say it.
That's not a term that you can. Yeah, and so that's one of our issues too. But in Canada, some provinces don't collect these data about Black people. Some provinces collect the data, but they don't share it with the federal government, and so that we never know. We need these data to say okay, how are we doing? How's this thing going? Are we making,
Progress.
are we making progress or not? And what's happening from year to year? And those are the,
Yeah.
and we are saying, you know what? A better job has to be done in collecting these data and share it. So we need a role in that. It's not just your job. We need a role at the table to talk about how these data will be collected. Not only that, how they will be shared and how they will be interpreted and how we will make it possible for Black people who are doing this work on the ground to be able to have these data and to be able to understand, to interpret them in a way that suits them to inform the work that they're doing. Otherwise, it's a missed opportunity. So we started this project with the Public Health Agency of Canada precisely around those issues.
Yeah.
And,
Are there any politicians within Ontario or Canada that have a hand in those issues that we should look towards?
Or be supporting.
Well,
within the next voting?
I don't know if politicians have a hand in them directly, but politicians determine the direction of, what the Ministry of Health,
Funding.
what the Ministry of Health does, and what the Public Health Agency of Canada does. So, in that sense, politicians are part of the decision-making structure, even though they might not necessarily have a direct hand in, whether to do A or B about HIV in Canada.
And that would be on a federal or
both,
federal and provincial.
and even municipal, even within the Toronto Public Health. Yeah.
Okay. And where is a place that people can go to find more information for difficult questions that they may have?
So if you need information like how is HIV transmitted, what is an HIV test, and all those kind of things, there's an organization called Katie. It's a national organization, but it is located in Toronto. It has a website called Katie, C-A-T-I-A, Katie.catie, Katie.ca. And on that, there's all kind of information there. But if you are now sort of getting into this, there's something I think is called the essentials or the basics or something, which is a part of the website that answers those questions.
Yeah.
What is HIV? How do you get it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then you can go on to, bigger questions, and all that information is there. So that's one place where information is available. But information is available also through the Public Health Agency of Canada. It's also available through the Ministry of Health in Ontario.
Yeah.
And there are many sources for the information.
NoHIV.ca as well. I believe that KNOW-HIV.ca.
Oh yes. That's a new campaign that has started. HIV. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for giving us all this information.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We just trying to, especially this month, really tap in with a lot of Black experts in different facets. We've had someone here for finance, we've had someone here for politics, and now yourself. And thank you so much for taking the time. You came all the way from Guelph. Give me a hand. Come on.
In this weather? Come on now.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Winston, thank you.
Would you quit the club?
Would you quit if
Would you quit the club? Not smoking club, just the club, period. I saw a discussion around
the
being too
nightclubs?
old to be in the club.
Oh.
Is there an age for that? I feel like there's not. I feel like it
Because if you're
depends on the
clubbing
type
with
of club.
If you're clubbing with people of your age, then that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's a type of club. If you're in if you're the 40-year-old going to the club that's notoriously for 19 to 21 years,
Yes.
I'm
Right.
side-eyeing.
Right. If you're going to L Warehouse
Yeah,
to
you know what I
have
mean?
dinner with
Mr. Wolf
Yeah.
and all that shit. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think you're weird if that's what you're doing. But if you're partying, like you said, if you're partying with people your age, I'm never gonna stop partying.
Only if you work in the club or own the club can you be partying with these kids, because you just got to be there.
I feel like partying is a form of escapism that should just never, it's just a staple in your life. Like, why? Who's too old to go to a party?
Yeah. I mean,
when have you ever said, "Oh yeah, I'm having a reception after my wedding," and people are like, it's too much. DJ, please, please, no.
And in my experience of hosting weddings, it's the old people that are dancing the longest.
You know what I mean?
So-
They're on the dance for the longest. The boat cruises, dancing up, having parties. Like, people don't stop partying.
Yeah.
It's an essential, I think, part of our life. Look how many people are risking their lives to party during Ronas.
Yo. Look,
Bro, niggas were throwing basement parties in Brampton
Yeah.
for the first time since like 08.
yeah, you know how there's always like every type of fet, like soca fet,
Yeah.
wet fet, all these jungle fet,
Stink and
army fet.
dirty.
I swear to God, there's probably senior fet where like it's
Probably.
just senior citizens, just dancing old calypso and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know?
Jamaicans like party to their old.
Y'all stay.
Old.
When you see the old man bubbling on the old lady,
Yeah,
like
I
that's
mean,
such a beautiful scene.
It's a
to
beautiful
see.
scene, man. So I don't know. I don't adhere to that. I don't think no one can shame me out of partying for a long time still.
It's the people that do shame me are the people that don't do it anymore. But it's like, all right, fine. But
People that can't bubble, man.
I'm also
Nicki
doing it
Minaj.
because I'm traveling, so I'm looking for shit to do at night. And
Yeah,
some
that
people will
too.
be like, "Hey, come on out, just meet me over here." And I'm like, I know I'm 40 in the
Yeah, it's a good way to network as well.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's the socializing in clubs for me that I'm like, I can't go to a club to socialize. People will be like, "Yo,
Yeah,
let's
no.
meet me here." I'm like, okay, I'll come to say hello and whatever, but don't expect me to have full conversations and land a deal.
Well, it depends.
club screaming in
Sometimes
people's
it's
ears.
like a smoke break is the best time to talk, but
That's
people
true,
want
that's
to party
true.
at a club
Mhm.
like in between and
Yeah.
then go out and smoke and then you talk and
Right.
shit. I right now I'm hating the TikTok DJs. I'm really not feeling the TikTok DJs.
The ones that are
man.
like top 5 songs to dance to at a wedding with white people
Nah,
and
not even-
Italians.
not even
give
those
a
ones.
crazy set list.
The ones that are doing just the mixes that just don't make sense. Like you can just because the BPMs match doesn't mean you should mix it.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's like it requires so much more.
Yeah.
Just because the BPMs match doesn't mean you should mix it.
yes.
Like for me, you have to either be telling a story or the beat that you've mixed blends so well
Yes.
that I'm almost like this should be the beat.
right.
Like I gotta have a feeling of like, oh, if this was the beat, I wouldn't even mind.
Right.
Like this feels right.
Mm.
And there's sometimes you get those perfect mixes, but then there's other times where like people just play the weirdest shit. Could you turn up the volume on the Roadcaster, James? There's a clip I'm playing. Should I put it on the TV? Yeah, Bluetooth. I connected to the Roadcaster.
Mm.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. But to my first off, great song
Great
acapella
song.
already. It's
Great song to start
acapella
off with
in
a
its
mix.
original.
Yeah.
Right. Ever fall.
I don't want to ever hear If I Ever Fall in
With
Love
808s.
mixed in with 808s, trap,
on
bounce music. Like Playboy Cardi at that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is it Vikings Cardi? Boo that man! Is it Vikings Playboy Cardi? I'ma head on like a Viking. Huh? So who?
Pull up with a stick, yeah.
Pull up with a stick? That one?
Mm.
Yeah, I hate it.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, there's certain mashups that like fine, like you said, it has the BPM. It's almost like saying, okay, fine, yes, this is beef. It's still oxtail. I was like, no, it's not.
It's not. It's like vegan.
Yeah. And it's-
When they fucking try to disguise cauliflower as jerk chicken, yeah, I hate y'all.
Yeah.
I hate y'all.
We're serving it's wing night. Oh, sorry, cauliflower wing night.
Yeah. Ugh. Yuck. And now we got like the series of I think it was the UK that started this series of My Apartment, where these DJs essentially do mixes in their apartments.
Yeah.
Or in a apartment that everybody goes and does a mix in.
It'll be like 8
And
people
it'd be
just
like-
hanging out around them.
Yeah, it'd be like
Yeah.
8 people all dressed like B2K. You know, they got like
yeah.
they don't have the same thing on, but it's like the same colors.
Yeah, everybody can't say it's gonna be this type of theme. So just
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So you
Sometimes it'll
have-
be an all white affair. Sometimes it'll be everybody dressed in like some vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always on some neo soul vibe.
Right. They looking like there's a Coca-Cola commercial on BET is about to kick off.
36 John Legends in the back. I'm ready to go right now, ass suits. Give me the green light.
At least 2 people, a guy and a girl with a paperboy hat.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate those. I hate those videos.
Yeah.
I hate them. I don't hate
Especially
the DJs. The DJs, a lot of them are killing it.
It's the people around them hyping
It's
them
the
up
people
too much.
around.
Like, and especially when they edit the reactions and they'll zoom in on the guy.
I hate them.
Say here the guy's DJing like this. Here, pretend you're DJing right now. Pretend you're DJing. Oh, this guy's like yes.
Yeah. And then touching.
Let him DJ.
Pulling the shirt. Oh, I hate. Just let the man cook, man. What do you guys do? The girls trying to look sexy in the back, trying to throw body cheeks. Yo, move! Let the man cook, man.
Yo,
It's inauthentic. You know why? Because Boiler Room started this so long ago. This is a Boiler Room camera angle that all the DJs are getting now.
Right.
And a lot of those moments that came from those Boiler Room sets were just truly organic. Like when I think about Kate Trinata's set,
Yeah.
and that girl that just wanna be a girl, like she's attached to
Leah.
that song in
Yeah.
my mind now, and now she's an artist off that.
Well, she's been
She's
one of his
been
artists,
doing music, but I mean, like that catapulted her stardom.
Yeah,
And now
dancing
people
girl.
listen to her music and shit, and it's just like, see, that was authentic. Like
Yeah.
that was not. She didn't go there to go viral.
Right.
She just happened to have a viral moment, being
Exactly.
caught in the moment. And it's just like, now you're just seeing people who maybe have seen her success, maybe have seen what's come from that, or seen the virality of others, and now they're just all trying to get a moment. Or just be
course.
involved, just to be like, yo, watch this mix I was in.
Because when you see a formula being created organically on the spot, naturally people want to mimic and try and duplicate. But like when you see boiler rooms, it's literally boiling in those rooms. It looks
literally
super lukewarm and like just room temperature in those rooms.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
But I will say, there's like, I do like the ones when there's nobody in the room.
Yeah.
Like when the DJ's just, it's the DJ
Yeah,
on some
yeah,
like
yeah,
soul
yeah,
action
yeah, yeah.
shit or whatever. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. Even the ones on the beach.
Yeah.
You ever seen those ones on the beach? Man's just set up on the beach and do a whole mix. I'm like, I know you're not plugged into.
Yeah,
anything,
you're
but I
not
don't
plugged
care.
into nothing.
I don't care. I don't even care. Give me that Bali funk. Give me that Brazilian funk, man.
He's playing one like mix that he pre-recorded and just like
That's it.
choreographed dancing
There's,
with his fingers.
There's a son of a billionaire that rented out a nightclub in Asia. To deal with his breakup, and he's just sitting there like crying. And there's a DJ and there's a screen that says, "Sorry for your breakup, Bobby." And he's just sitting in the club alone, by himself, just
Rich boy problems, really? This man,
how do I do this again?
nah.
How do I connect again? I haven't done this in so long.
See,
From airplay.
I will say the way like I loved partying with all my rich Asian friends. Like I'm talking like some of the guys that were, you know, part of the mafia, you know, the hood Asian guys that are really rich, or like the raver Asian dudes. Those guys party.
The raver Asian guys.
The raver Asians, and they're like, I mean, the guys and girls, they're all smart, all academic book smart, but they still party the fuck out, man.
So this is him just sitting in the club by himself. DJ's just playing. And I was like, what song would I play? What song would you play if you want to cry by yourself as son of a billionaire?
How do I say goodbye?
True.
That's
True.
one.
That's a good one. I'd play Gravity by John Mayer.
That's a sad one. That's a sad one.
That's my sad bag right there. John Mayer's my sad bag. Anytime I'm depressed, Continuum. Play it.
Next Lifetime, for some reason, makes me
Dreaming with
sad.
a Broken Heart.
Next
Lifetime with
Erica Badu.
Yeah.
Just because
Okay.
I remember Heartbreak. Like, she's taken. I guess Next Lifetime. Yeah. Ooh, MJ
Out of my life.
That's a good one.
End of the road? Nah.
Yeah.
I feel like End of the Road. I just think about the band now.
Ooh. Drew Hill's 5 Steps. That shit. Ooh, that hits me. That hits me. That one hits me.
We were 5 steps from eternity. We were 4 steps, best love and 3 wishes. We were 3 wishes. Oh, just in the heavens above. You. That nigga was heartbroken. Oh my gosh. So much happened this week. Drake, Party, Numero Uno.
Prake.
Numero Uno. Number 1 album. They broke the R&B sold streaming record, I believe. Nokia and Die Trying, I think, are in the top 10 at 6 and 10 or something like that. Yeah, it's 250K. Called it.
Yeah.
I called it. I've been calling it all week. It's pretty crazy. We went to when we did the currency exchange. I called the $87. We just did grocery shopping yesterday. I was like $216. Got it on the dot.
Numbers, man. Numbers, man.
I gotta do the lottery, man. 250K first week. They're saying it's gonna be 109K second week, which is pretty still strong numbers, even though a lot of people said it's gonna be a Nagasaki nuclear drop off.
Yeah.
That was
Super
gonna
bomb.
happen, and it didn't happen.
Atomic bomb.
There's some great songs on there. I don't know why people are hating. If you gotta like this in secret, I feel bad for you. I really feel bad for you. Cause I know a lot of you who have to like this in secret, and it's bunning your skin. It's bunning your skin.
Let's
this
just
is-
wait till the end of year play results.
I
when
can't
we see-
wait to see that end of year Spotify list, baby.
Ooh, it's gonna
I
be
can't
good.
wait.
It's gonna be good.
Y'all gonna need Spider-Man and Superman to save you. Freaking oh, you know LeBron been dying to post without knowing the words.
Oh man.
One of the songs, Small Town Fame,
Yeah.
allegedly, they're saying it was about your man Dylan Brooks.
Oh yeah, I was hearing about that.
All his love songs are about. Don't believe me? Watch. The entire Hours in Silence song off of Her Loss is about Baby M. He even mentions her. Baby M, you know I got a heart of gold. You pawn that and hit the road.
Baby M
He's
is
referring to how
Dylan
Baby
Brooks'
M
girl.
left Drake to be with Dylan Brooks, an NBA player. In all the parties with Chief Keef, he says, free Baby M at the shackle and chain. Baby M got arrested, was put to jail, but guess who bailed her out? Drake. And another Baby M reference right here on the Radar freestyle with Central C. He says, I tell Baby M what she did to the kid, that eyeliner like emo. Then he talks about how she wouldn't rock his shirt back in the day before he was Drake. And then the girl in the middle of the Calling For You song, between Drake and 21 Savage's verse, is Baby M complaining about how Dylan Brooks didn't put her in first class to Drake. And then on his most recent album, he made a song called Small Town Fame, which is about Dylan Brooks and Baby M, saying all I got is memories of thinking what it was like. Now you trying to style in my face, pop it in my face, put it on the gram, you supposed to be my ace. Talking about
I'm hating hard. I'm hating way too hard. Wow. And that's why Dylan Brooks said that what's it called?
Oh, in that interview when they're asking him
That
about
Kendrick was what didn't they do Kendrick or Drake for the Canadian team?
Mhm.
And everybody said Drake except for Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
This extra game exclusive. I mean, that's pretty wild.
I mean, it does sound like it's crazy that he put her on the album and whatnot, but
Let me see Small Town Fame lyrics.
does it seem like Dylan's got a one up on Drake? Since Drake's the one writing songs about Dylan and about this thing, talking about
If what that video says is true, that Drake bailed her out of jail, this first line, leaving out the club with no hoes, it's a dub. You somewhere you somewhere on house arrest, pretending you in love.
Oh, damn.
Exfoliate that nigga that you with. He a scrub.
Oof.
Like, I want to know what's up. What happened to us? Your new nigga pretended to be the man. He a stud.
Oh boy.
We was really locked in. We got out the mud. Like, all I got is memories of thinking what it was like. Now you trying to style in my face, pop it in my face, put it on the gram. You supposed to be my ace. I'm hating hard. I'm hating way too hard. You played the part. You wasn't who you are right now. I'm hating hard. She was in the Court of Gold documentary.
Was
The
that
Court
one?
of Gold documentary is this Olympics documentary. It came out on Netflix. So good. It's about the basketball teams in the Olympics, Paris Olympics.
Mm.
And it was so good. But she's in it.
What was she doing in it?
There's a part where Dylan has like dinner with his family,
okay.
and she's there.
Mm.
This is very, very interesting, man.
But that's
Yo, Drake is never beating the your girl allegations. It's like a kink for him.
yeah,
It's taking your gal. This is crazy.
really is. I feel like that's kind of his main MO. That's one thing he knows he could beat anybody with in the game. Like,
Well,
I can
it's,
take your
just,
girl.
it's like the ultimate power as a man, right?
Yeah.
To
I
be
mean,
able
that's
to-
what started wars, bro. It's always a woman being snatched by an X-Man.
But also, it's like I feel like there's so much little shit you can get away with when you are that rich and have a layer of security and a layer of mandem.
For sure. For
It's like
sure.
he's one of the most
He's got
accessible
power.
celebrities in the world, but at the same time, you still can't touch him. If you wanted to, like, you couldn't put hands on him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So Drake always got that one big ass nigga, the bald dude.
Mm.
Bro, there's this video of him. First video I ever seen of him. He's standing there. The concert's going, like mid-concert. And someone just pans the camera over to him. And he's standing there and he's grinding his hand. And he's just like breathing hard.
Like, I
grinding
wish
his
somebody
hand.
would.
He's sweating profusely and there's a neck in his vein going crazy. And I'm like, oh, he's psychotic.
Yeah, he ready to kill.
He's got bodies for real.
Yeah.
Like, bro. Yeah, that guy. He's always posted him. That guy is terrified. Like, bro, you know what would be a sick show? Oh my God. If all the bodyguards, that there's a bodyguard boxing league.
Oh,
Like a bodyguard
shit.
MMA. Like Julius, Beyonce's bodyguard versus that nigga. Oh my God. That nigga's crushing Julius. That nigga's crushing Julius.
Damn.
Yo, if you send out all mans like the Game of Thrones, like, you know how I choose my fighter?
Yeah.
And you choose a next big guy?
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah. The Mountain.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Mountain, Steve Smith Sr.
Oh.
LL Cool D. Steve Smith Sr.
NFL Cool D.
was he a football? He was a football player.
He's a player. Yeah.
Was or is?
Was and is a
He's
retired
retired.
analyst now. I didn't know much about it. I just read up on the shit.
So
Yeah.
and he found another well-known
Yeah.
wide receiver.
Yes.
He found a real wide receiver,
Super. She was going
a
on.
cornerback.
Go long.
Go long, for real. So some text messages were exposed between him and someone that worked with the Ravens marching band, I believe.
Blue 69.
Blue 69. And these texts were super, super wild. Like, I'll read one. She
Read the
said,
first one.
Yes, sir, with an emoji. Don't know what that's in response to, but he says,
Yo, keep,
hold on.
read the first one where it's all like, but my
Fire,
husband.
burn that
And then
rascal.
read the next one. Like the contrast.
Take me deep down your throat like you kind of like. You wanted to suck me off. She's like, I did. I would have gagged on it, but I had to come home. You know that's how she said it. I would have gagged on it, but I had to come home. He's like, you enjoy it. You like to feel it. She's like, I like feeling it deep in my wet pussy. He's like, me too. Letting you taste it, though, you would be a turn on. I would have shot my nut all inside your pussy. She's like, I love making you come. I enjoy it more when you come inside me.
Oh gosh.
Yo, your wife's saying, yo, I like it more when you come inside me. Oh, I would have choked on your dick, but I had to come home.
Oh.
To this nigga.
Like, are they're filed for divorce now, right?
I would
If
assume so.
if
He's the one that,
staying-
the husband is the one that exposed it. The husband made an account, started posting it on Twitter and tagging every sports analyst, tagging Steve Smith. And it was a video of him talking to Steve Smith Sr. on the phone on speaker.
And he was silent,
He
bro.
was quiet.
I'm like, hang up.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you taking this?
Why are you breathing?
Why are you taking this type of berating? The man's
abuse?
telling you you're a pussy, you're a bitch. Like, hang up the phone. And he's like, sorry.
Did he know the guy?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know if I read that they may have worked together or something at some point, or
Bro,
I don't know.
all I know is this man chose a woman that looks like his wife. Like
because that's what I was wondering.
Yo, they showed a
too.
picture of his
The
wife. I'm like,
family.
it's not the same woman.
Right. The family photo was like,
Harpo,
so
who is
how-
this woman?
Did they create a family that quick?
Right?
Yeah. That was nuts, man. I guess he has a type. I guess he has a type.
He got a type. His type is Jeff Van Gundy, apparently. That bitch.
With a wig.
She looked like one of the Van Gundys for sure, man. Easily.
No, that's a wide spectrum between Stan and Jeff.
Oh,
you got Ron Jeremy on one end, and you got
Yeah.
freaking a young Mr. Burns on the other end.
Mr. Ratbird.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, these texts were insane. But like reading someone, I noticed when doing this, I was like, man, reading someone else's sexting will never not be cringe and gross.
Have you ever
Like for
read
them,
another
it's
person?
so hot in the moment, and for you, it's like seeing the porn after you've cleaned up. You're like, ugh,
Yeah.
what am I?
You know, so I had lost a phone and my ex like had a spare. I'm like, yo, let me borrow. You have an extra spare phone I could use real quick? So she let me use one real. And like she's like, I haven't used it in so long, years. And
Oh God. Oh
yo,
oh
when I
God.
turned that shit on.
Oh God.
I was just like, let me just click on this photo album real quick for some reason. I was like, let me just exactly. Before I delete anything, like let me make sure like there's nothing.
Oh yeah,
on
let
it,
me
like,
make sure. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
do you need anything on
Yeah,
here? She's like,
yeah, yeah.
it should be clear. Everything should be good. And I look at him like, first thing, fucking dicks. I was like, like just dick pics. I was like, I'm like, are you sure do you want to keep these or not? To me, it was a joke. I was laughing. I'm like, obviously, this is your old,
You're a clown.
you know. So you want to keep these ones? Should we make it a background? Whatever. We had
That's
laugh.
crazy.
But have you ever opened up a like
somebody else's photo album? Yes.
like and seen
you
some
did not
shit?
want to give me your phone to borrow when I was like 21, 22.
Yeah.
I'm going through
You're
that bitch.
exposing a
Are you
motherfucker.
dumb? I ain't exposing nothing, but I'm going to look.
yeah.
I was going to look. And yeah, no, I remember one time I looked and same thing.
Yeah.
Saw some dicks. I was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah.
This is such a bad idea. But yeah, no, that is insane texts. Insane texts, brother. My goodness.
And it's there for the world to see. It's on the interweb.
What would you do if your sexting got exposed? Would you be worried? Would you be like, eh?
No, I'm not filthy like that. So I'm not saying anything that's like, oh, this guy's a fucking predator, or like something that would make me
Yeah.
that seems alarming.
Yeah.
I think I have a very
I speak in innuendo a lot.
Yeah.
So it's never anything like super direct and filthy.
Mm.
Yeah, no.
I guess depending on the person, like I change my speech based on the person and how they like to be spoken to.
Of course, that's you're a man.
Obviously, right?
Yeah. You're a
Code
man.
switching.
Yeah.
But
You're a liar.
yes, I'm 100. Lie to me. All right. Yes. But I remember there's this one chick enjoyed humorous sexual talk. So like always ending it off with like finding a way to ruin it with humor. Like, damn, you fine. Like wine. going down your spine
Ugh,
in a like just like stupid whatever,
Yuck.
like just
Yuck.
go all the way dumb with it and be like, oh, I love it when you're so stupid. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna be
Yuck.
corny then. I can be mad stupid.
Worst ever kink I've ever experienced was a girl who wanted to
Finger your
pretend
butt?
like she was
Oh.
being. What the hell? Write it down. Write it
You
down.
went full.
This
So I was
sick
like,
bitch.
I'll be turned off too. Like
No, this girl. I think I told this story before on here, where this girl just mid coitus just decided we're in a rape scene.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Just decided and told me to go with it. And I was like, go with what? Are you insane? Are you Have you seen A Time to Kill?
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Go with it. And plus,
I ain't going with shit.
Plus, she gave you permission, so technically it wouldn't work that way anymore. So,
There's that as well.
Right.
There's that as well.
so you
it's
want me
like-
to do it, but you just gave me permission. So
Yeah,
is it?
she's not a method actor, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's not taking the role home with her.
No. No, she clocks out. She
Yeah,
clocks out
no,
for
definitely. I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, and then after that, I just didn't want to be that way with her
sure. Yeah.
because I was like, is she thinking of this in if I'm a little rough? Is she thinking of it in a different way now?
Yeah.
Am I? Ugh, yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about it.
Just giving sweet, regular, good
Regular walk.
missionary, good,
Missionary.
good, clean,
Good,
standard
clean missionary.
walk. Yeah. Man.
Diddy's lawyer quit. That's how kinky that nigga is. I think that was a good segue. It was a fitting segue.
I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Yo.
I don't think your lawyer said that.
The lawyer. The rumor on TikTok is that his lawyer found out he's a necrophiliac. That's the rumor on TikTok, but nobody knows for sure, obviously. We're not going to put that on his body, although he put it on potentially dead bodies. But a necrophiliac, for those who don't know, is someone that has sex with dead
bodies.
people.
I fuck dead people. Oh, that's right. That's screwed up.
It's crazy, bro. So yeah, if that's the case, I mean, I completely understand it because everybody's like, "Yo, this lawyer represented Osama, and he don't want to represent you, bruh. Something's wrong here." And I mean,
Wait,
The Walking
Osama
Dead
bin Laden?
would be the cutoff point for me.
Wow. This guy.
But I'd need to know what type of dead, like sleep apnea dead, because then my girl. Okay, my bad. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Write it down.
The sleep apnea. I'm dead for at least 221 seconds.
221 times I died, and you still want to have sex with me? You nasty, nasty bitch.
Your girl's a necrophiliac as a result of your sleep apnea. That's funny.
That's wild.
No, but that's really of all, because there's some people that are so vile that lawyers still represented. You know, some really, really bad
Somebody
people that are
represented-
out there,
What's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer.
right?
Someone represent, like, there's a lot of people.
Someone was out there representing Paul Bernardo.
My
you know?
thought process wasn't that he's done something so heinous. It was that he's pissed off someone so important.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think it's more so like they probably don't want him with a competent lawyer.
Yeah.
That might actually help him get away with it, and maybe blackmailed or strong armed that lawyer into quitting, or even just incentivized in some way him into quitting because for whatever reason, well, I don't know what Diddy did to these people, but chickens come to roost.
And maybe he knows that Diddy ain't got the money left to.
You know what's sad? There's barely anyone just thinking like, yo, they arrested him because he's a bad guy. Like everybody's like attaching a reason of why he must have gotten arrested.
'Cause he's a
And-
bad boy.
Maybe he just is a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's no extra sauce on it. Maybe he's just terrible human being that finally got caught, and that's it. Maybe there's no conspiracy.
Yeah.
But man, if there is, wow.
If there
So
is a
juicy.
conspiracy,
So juicy.
but like,
What if it's a conspiracy and he didn't do anything wrong? Like all the freak off parties were consenting adults. No one was underage. Like, and they're using the freak offs and the knowledge of such to then pin. Because this is the thing, right? Anybody can pin some shit on you. Like, trying to prove you didn't do something
It's way harder.
is way harder than trying to prove you did something.
Yeah.
Trying to prove I didn't do it, bro, like, that seems like an impossible task. How do I prove you weren't there?
Yeah. Innocent.
Like-
There's a reason why defamation lawsuits are a thing.
They can bring in these victims that I've never met. Or maybe I met and it was too high.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody else brought them.
Right.
They could do, and all these things could be pinned on me if somebody so chooses. If I piss off the wrong person. And these days, as a man, takes even less than that.
Right. Right.
And that's partly our own doing.
Yeah.
Because men disproportionately do these heinous offenses.
The men are trash.
And the men are trash. Wow, I haven't done
That's
that in
been
a
a
while.
while.
Men haven't been trash in a
so
while.
bad I
What
was
can I
off
say?
beat with the clap. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like we put ourselves in this position heavily, but also it's terrifying when you see, like, I wonder how many accidentally racist whites there have been.
Oh.
Like
I feel
bad
like
place, bad time or something, and they're really not that person, but now we just view them as that person.
And maybe have created one now
Yeah.
as a result.
Yeah. And there's no way for them to be like, I can't prove I'm not racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, men are currently
I see.
trying to prove they're not nasty individuals. And it's very difficult when there's been a history of nasty individuals.
It's so funny, man. I can see an infomercial, or like some commercial right now. Like, every year, 20% of white men are deemed racist, even though they're not. just by guilty by
Proxy.
association and proxy.
Will Smith was doing an interview, and he said he spoke to Prince and Biggie
Oh yeah.
hours before they both passed away.
4 hours before Biggie died, 8 hours before Prince died.
Yeah. With Prince,
That's crazy.
he allegedly was in talks to start an entertainment company with him and Jay-Z. Now, this is the second time, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Let me put it on.
Will
This
got
is-
a big mouth.
This is allegedly.
They probably told him in secret.
Well, I won't even say that. Jay-Z just seems to be around when things be happening. And it's kind of scary. I'm not accusing Jay of anything. But it's just very, like, there's that rumor that there was a bunch of black CEOs and black heads of labels that were having meetings and were secretly about to come together to form one of the biggest record labels,
Mm-hmm.
black owned, 100%.
Yeah.
And that Jay-Z was privy to these meetings. This is the rumor. And that Jay-Z allegedly snitched, and police started mysteriously raiding these record labels. And it kind of dissolved everything that was about to happen. I believe Suge Knight alluded to something like this happening as well.
Right.
Um,
You said he was part of like bringing that
Yeah.
coalition together too.
and that there was meetings adjacent to that designed to take down the black community through the music and the music labels.
And Michael was still alive at this time, right?
And Michael is
Yeah.
still alive at this time. And it's just interesting that Prince would be having these discussions while we know how Prince felt about the labels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anti-establishment, changed his name to a symbol just to beat the system, so to speak. Didn't want his music released posthumously. And yeah, just a whole bunch of shit. And it's just like, yeah, Jay-Z being in another story where someone was about to start something big, and then they mysteriously go, It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. And it's like, it's something you would think that if you're on the opposite side, well, maybe you're too scared, but if you're on the opposite side and looking at this and being like, yo, I was going to help out here and this happened. I was going to help out here and this happened. I should say something. You'd think he would say something, and he hasn't.
Not Jay-Z. Not Jay-Z.
I just find it interesting. Is Jay-Z a company man?
I mean, he
Yeah, like-
seems like the moment once I started seeing like, oh, head of Def Jam, head of this and that, I'm like,
Head of
he
Def
could
Jam.
he could easily be like a Lear Cohen, but just black.
How did he get head of Def Jam? And that quickly and easily?
I mean,
Like,
people understand his business acumen for sure, but like,
Drake ain't getting Universal.
yeah, and it's not like he blew up all the artists that he had under him. Nobody actually
They
blew
just
up.
kind of gave him the position.
Yeah. And who has he blown up?
And who gave him the position? Was it Lior?
I would like to say it's maybe probably Lior, because Dame Dash hates him probably for that reason.
Yeah, and then the NFL thing, like Jay-Z just seems like the bridge to the black community for white people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the conduit, like the middleman to the black community. And why would they? You see what I'm saying?
And I
You
feel
see
like
what I'm saying?
he's
Why? Like, I'm not dissing Jay-Z. Jay-Z's my GOAT. But why Jay-Z?
maybe because he's also Beyonce's husband.
In every other aspect of looking at a black person who is the middleman between white people and the black community, can we not say that it is that black person that has quote unquote hurt the black community by way of or white people have hurt the black community by way of that black person a lot of times?
Are you saying that he's probably one of the most biggest covert Uncle Toms in history?
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying that he's even knowledgeable of that. I'm saying that he's in that position.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
might be something he doesn't realize, because I feel like also you may not realize if you are seeking the approval of billionaires and seeking the approval of being in those rooms, and you are confident in your success, you're confident in your abilities, you're confident in your knowledge to the point where it's like, yeah, I deserve to be here. And you're not thinking, no, they're just keeping me around for whatever. No, you're like I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
I'm a
businessman.
man.
But you ever see those pictures of Jay-Z? They showed a comparison of Jay-Z around like rappers and black people and just
Yeah.
whatever his peoples, and he's never smiling. But when he's
Yeah.
around white people
Oh,
and the
yeah.
people richer than
Big
him,
smiles.
he has these big, almost fake smiles, almost like they're telling him, "Hey, smile for the camera, boy." And he has to almost.
It's almost like he's softening his image around white people. That's a thing black people do as well to assimilate is soften their image.
I mean, he went into the art game and grew Basquiat dreads, so it almost seems like
I don't know. It just seems like the access he has to whiteness is exclusive to him and him alone.
I
And
feel
it's
that for
not like
sure.
he's the only person.
and he's not sharing it. It doesn't feel like.
Well, can he? Is that
I
even
guess
his
so.
decision?
That's not his decision. Exactly. It's for somebody else to say, "Hey,
Is
no,
that even his decision? And
sorry,
like-
Jay-Z, no, your Beanie Siegel friend can't come."
You know what I mean? It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something there. I just don't know what it is, man.
Because you think being Def Jam and being at the head of all these things, like, you could do something to help revive the careers of all the guys that you couldn't blow up when you were trying to run Rockefeller. Maybe that their chances passed, obviously.
Well, also there's this I'm a man, I gotta make it on my own type shit that people be on a lot of times. They don't want to hand out, and they don't want to come out, especially those New York, Philly niggas, man. They don't want to come up off the backbone of somebody else's success. They want to make it on their own terms. So it's like, I don't think they would even be asking him like that to like revive their career or anything like that. Plus, there's been opportunities that he's given them to do the right thing. And they, of their own accord, have said on record that they fumbled the bag. They fucked it up. Memphis Bleak talking about how after one night, I think it was the B-Sides concert.
Oh yeah, they were supposed
And
to
they were
link
supposed
up.
to go link up with him at the studio, and mans wanted to party.
They didn't go. It was
Niggas
Chris
wanted
and
to
Neef
party.
too. Yeah.
Niggas with Beanie, all of them, they mans wanted to party. And they could have probably locked in the studio and did something really dope. And they didn't.
Yeah.
And then even before that, nigga 50 Cent is coming. He warned them, get your shit right. Get your shit together. Get albums out. Get mixtapes out. Do whatever you got to do to get ahead of this nigga because he's coming.
Yeah.
And once again,
Lo and behold.
from the back. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you want better for your people, but they don't want better for themselves. And it's like, what can you do at that point? What can you do? I can only help you so much.
You could
a
bring
horse
the
to water.
horse to water. There you go.
Can't make him drink, man. Listen, another week,
Another one.
another classic, man. We do this.
Like old times,
Who
buddy.
better than us?
Come on.
Come on.
This is
Come
nostalgic. Me and Norm.
Right? Wow.
Look
at that.
Shout out to Winston husbands. Desperately need that knowledge. We've been dropping the Black History gems all month.
Yeah.
Finance, politics, HIV. Yeah, we tackling stuff. But in the next, let's see what I got coming up. I got a show. I'm headlining in St. Catharines this weekend.
St. Catharines.
St. Catharines, I'll be there the 28th and the 1st, headlining alongside the homie Keisha Brownie and Mr. Dre. They'll be joining me.
Is this the Comedy Railroad?
No.
No.
This is just Spotlight Comedy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, shout out to Spotlight Comedy for having me. Next Wednesday, if you guys are too busy or you don't live in St. Catharines, if you're in Toronto, I'm going to be headlining at Comedy Bar. Shout out to Mishi for having me. Vancouver. I'm coming.
When?
I'm pulling up. I'm trying to be out there, I believe, April 4th. Actually, April 11th. I'll be out there April 11th. We're going to be doing a show. I'm going to be putting up tickets in my bio shortly. And Calgary, I'm trying to come out there. I'm trying to come out there April 4th. Still trying to set up the venue and stuff for you guys. I know last time me and Norm came to Edmonton, and half the crowd, you guys drove 2-3 hours from Calgary and said, we got to do it in Calgary next time.
Yep.
So we'll do it in Calgary this time. And yeah, that's about it, I think. Yeah, that's about it.
I'll be doing those same cities that you just mentioned.
Nice.
Calgary. I think I'm going to be there around the same time you're there.
Nice. April 4th?
Actually, no. I'm April 9. April 10.
March 7th. Love is Blind Us.
Love is blind us.
Love is Blind Us is going
Love is
down.
Blind.
We had to postpone from the Valentine's show, obviously, because of the huge snowstorms. It just wasn't safe for people. I didn't want you guys driving in that. So March 7th, Small World Center, 8 p.m. We're going to do it again. There are 13 tickets that have freed up. 13. So get them
Unlucky
quick.
13.
Get them fast. They're in my bio right now on Instagram and Twitter and everything. Only 13 tickets left. I will not be releasing more. They will sell out.
Get them.
So
Get them
do
now.
not waste any time. You got anything else you wanna?
Brother, same deal. I got a makeup show I got to do for my show that got
Yep.
that the
Snowstorm didn't, yeah.
It wasn't even a snowstorm. It was
Well, it was a snowstorm, but there was other issues that
yes.
Yeah.
It was smoking out the venue till the fire department came
Yeah,
and shut
essentially.
it down. So that'll be on the
I was
end of the
so
month. I'm so sorry.
I
bro.
was so sad. I had just walked in.
Yeah, we
Packed room. Oh,
packed room. Everybody there
everybody's
on time.
high.
Everything was punctual. People
Yeah.
made it on time through a snowstorm.
Yeah. Packed.
And
I was
then
like
bring.
driving there like, oh, people are gonna pull up. Like, I hope people still pull up. Got there packed. Everybody's leaving. I'm like, what's going on? I heard the alarm on. I'm like, what's going on? And like, oh, the smoke alarm. And then it stopped for half a second. And everyone stopped at the door and turned to look at Norm like, yo, what are we doing?
I'm like,
And
sit
Norm's like,
down.
come back in, sit down. We'll take intervals. We'll smoke in intervals. We'll open the window, blah, blah. And smoke alarm went on again.
And then
it's
that
just
one
like,
guy goes, I hear sirens.
the fire department's coming. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, shut
Yeah,
it down.
we shut
man.
it down. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
So, but yes, end of the month, March 29th. March 29th. If you had tickets to that show, free tickets. We're gonna do 2 shows. It's gonna be a full out pizza party, free pizza from Big Pizzeria. Lots of giveaways, lots of goodies. And obviously the tour, it's still happening. We're gonna be back in BC in the Okanagan. I'm like all these weird like Kelowna, Kamloops, Penticton. Well, Penticton, like what? And a place called Salmon Arm. Yes, Salmon Arm.
Don't kill me.
These are all the places that comedy takes you in life.
Indeed.
Sometimes. But and obviously Calgary, Edmonton, all those guys. We'll be seeing you in April. But yeah, man, that's about it for now.
Nice. Oh, and Cayman Islands. I'll see you guys in June. I don't know.
Cayman Islands.
I think
what?
June 14th. I'm not sure, but I'll be headlining in Cayman Islands sometime in June. I'll let you guys know.
Okay,
But
Marlon.
another week.
Okay.
Another banger. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
And this was the Extra Gravy.
Skirt, skirt. Bam, 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 bam.